welcome to my channel. Thanks for tuning in. Today I'm going to look at how the pros aim when they're playing snooker. I'm going to demonstrate it on a pool table just because this is my own pool table in my summer house, and I've got a bit of privacy and it's easier to record a video than going down the local snooker club where it's a bit noisy. So hopefully you'll find it interesting. These aiming methods do apply for any cue sport really. I do play pool now, but I started playing snooker when I was really young, when I was 8 years old. I applied these methods myself and made my first century break when I was 13. So it took 5 years to get to that stage where I was making really big breaks, which is a bit of a long time. I would say, as if you're an adult picking up snooker for the first time, you can probably get there much quicker, because as a kid you've got no technique whatsoever. You know, I couldn't even reach a table. I was kind of having to play shots like that and stuff. So it does take a bit longer if you're a kid just starting out than if you're an adult and you apply what I'm about to mention here. If you apply the right techniques, the right basics and stuff, you'll get there much quicker. And what I would say as well is, I started out playing at a time where snooker was at its most popular in Scotland, and I was lucky enough to play in the same club as Stephen Hendry at the time during the 90s when he was winning all these world titles. So every time I was in that club, I was practicing alongside Stephen Hendry, John Higgins, Stephen Maguire, you know, really top players. There was a whole host of others who were really good pros as well. And kind of a bit later on, Marco Fu moved to Scotland and I became a regular practice partner of his. So I've spoken to all these guys, I've watched, you know, behind the scenes footage of what they do, and I'm going to tell you exactly what it is here that they did to get to the very top of the game. So if you do find this interesting, please give me a like and subscribe, as it means that I'll be able to bring this to more and more people and hopefully help them out a little bit as well. So if you can, give me a like and subscribe. Thanks. So to start off, there's probably 4 main reasons that you would miss a shot when playing snooker. It could be that you get a kick, or it could be that the table rolls off. And both of those things, they're not really your fault. There's not a whole lot. There are some things that you can do to mitigate them, but there's not a whole lot that you can do. The 2 main things that you can improve on to help you stop missing shots is 1, your aiming, and 2, your technique. And when you're starting out, you know, when you're right at the beginning, you probably develop them both at the same time. You know, as your aiming gets better, your technique's getting better, and your game should be going up and up. But whether you're an absolute beginner or you're somebody who's played for a while and still misses balls, hopefully this video will help you today, and we're going to look specifically at how to aim properly. We'll look at technique in another video later on. The technique that I'm about to talk to you about here is really simple, and if you have looked at other things, like, you know, I've heard people talking about the ghost ball or tangent lines, or hitting the object ball on the extreme side that you can see with the middle of the white and all of it. If you have looked at that, if you are trying that, please, please, please just forget it. It's a load of nonsense. It really is. There's not a professional out there that would tell you that that's the way that you should be approaching the game. None of those guys that I mentioned before who have been at the top of the game have ever done anything like that. I would also say that I've been coached by a professional. I have had another coach was Alan McManus's coach. I've never heard anyone of credibility talk about ghost balls or any kind of rubbish like that. You've got enough to focus on as a beginner with, you know, aiming, with your technique. Those are the two main things. As you get a little bit more advanced, you're looking at positional play, how to address the ball properly, how to screw back, how to follow through. You're thinking about how to get onto your next ball, develop balls, how to play safe. This is a complicated sport. It's a really, really difficult sport to pick up. There's not been one person alive who's picked up a cue and they've just been a ready-made snooker player. There is a lot to learn. So if you can take something away and make it easier, like in a kind of stupid technique, then I would encourage you to do so. So, having said that, let's get into it. What I would say is that aiming is training. You're training your brain so that it becomes instinct, that it knows where to hit a ball in order to pot it. And unfortunately, there's no quick way to do that. It is purely practice, so it's repetition, but it's repetition of doing the right things over and over again that will make it go a lot quicker and a lot better. It will take a bit of time, but it doesn't have to take as long as you think, and certainly if you do the right things, then it'll go a lot quicker. So let's look at a really easy example to begin with. So I've got a straight blue here. Now, we know where to hit this, to pot this. We don't need the ghost ball, we don't need the tangent line, we don't need anything else. We know where to hit it because our brain is telling us that that is a straight line to that pocket. It knows it needs to hit the white straight, fill in the face into the blue to pot in there. And we know that, we know it, and we know it because we've done it over and over and over again. And the only reason that you would miss that ball, apart from a kick and a run-off, is because of technique. So we've got the aiming down, we know that, but it starts to get a little bit more difficult when you've got a bit of an angle. So your brain won't always know exactly, especially when you first start out, where to pot that ball. So we need to train it to do that. Now, it's not going to take you years, so don't worry about that, but I will show you how to make it go quicker, and it's really, really easy. If you watch the pros on TV, you'll see them do this, even with a kind of easier shot, right? We're straight behind the blue here, looking at it in the pocket. Our angle is here to pot it, but we stand straight behind where we want to hit it. And that's because we're sending an image, we're sending messages to our brain to focus on that point in the blue that we need to hit to make it go in there. And you can only do that by stepping back. A mistake that a lot of beginners will make is they stand too close to the table and they rush around, see the pot of red and now they're on the blue. They'll go around like this and play it and miss. Just need to take a breath, take your time, step back from a shot. Always step back. And there's two stages to stepping back. I would say as a beginner, you step back and you look at the angle that you want to pot it at from straight behind it. Now, focus on that point, and without taking your eyes off it, move to where you want to address the white. So we move to here. Now this is the second part of stepping back. You don't always have to step back from where you want to, but always step back from where you're going to hit it. This is you taking it all in, and this stepping back allows you to address the ball better. It allows you to step into the shot while looking at it all the time. It allows you to get your feet and your arms and everything in position. What I would do if you're a beginner, and this is the coach me and Alan McManus taught me as when I was first starting out, was just drop the cue onto the table where you want to hit it. So that's it. I can pot this one-handed now, I know where to hit it. But it lets you line everything up. Now you hold the butt of the cue where you normally would, so about there, and you step into the shot. If you're right-handed, step with your right foot first. Now your right foot will be pointing away from the shot. Your right foot is your straight leg, Now the next step is a bigger step in with your left, and it should be pointing towards where you want to hit the ball. So you're stepping in front of her and you're putting a bit of weight onto your left and bending it. This one's straight, and then that's you're in the shot. So you'll sometimes see people kind of move about to make fine adjustments when they're actually on the shot. If you've done this properly from back here, you won't need to do that. Now I'm not saying that you have to put the cue down in there, because certainly as a kid when I did it, I got some funny comments and stuff like that. You don't need to do that, but you do need to step back from the shot and step into it, because you are aiming it before you get down in the shot. Once you're down in the shot, you can't see as much. You make mistakes. You'll often hear people, say, if you're down a shot and something doesn't feel right, don't move about, get up. And the reason for doing that is because all the aiming is coming from here. You're aiming from here. This is the best vantage point. Standing back from the shot, looking down it, you can see exactly where you want to hit it. You can step in, and as long as your technique is right, you will never ever miss, unless you get a kick or a roll off. So you're probably thinking, all this guy has told me to do is take a step back from the shot, and you're right. I mean, that's the first step, and it's one that's often missed, especially with beginners. And I think it's the most important. But it's not enough just to step back. That's your first processing information. I said aiming is training. Now you have to start training your brain so it knows where to hit the ball. And that's through repetition. And the only way to repeat this process is through practice. So if you're lucky enough that you've got a table in your house, or you've got a table that you can play on by yourself, then I think that's the best way. Just do, I'll teach you a couple of little routines to try if you're by yourself. If not, if you've got a friend that you regularly play with, then just repeat those basics and just keep doing them. And what I would say is, make sure that you're playing with someone of similar ability. If you're an absolute beginner and you've got somebody who's hitting 50, 60 breaks and you're not really getting a chance in the frame, it's probably not worth your while. I always find that you get a lot better practice just doing something by yourself. And what I would say is, just start out slow. So I've got a couple of things lined up here, and there are a couple of things that will appear in games all the time. A few balls around about the black spot, or a few balls around about the blue spot. Don't do a full lineup. If you're somebody who is happy at hitting a 20 break, don't do a full lineup, because there's no point to it. You want to become the person who then hits a 30 break quite regularly, and then you can maybe add one or two more balls onto this. So if you're happy hitting 20s, then put 2 or 3 balls around the black spot and just practice with them. Just practice trying to get that 24 break, and see how often you can get it. And just keep doing it and doing it and doing it until you're getting 24 quite regularly. If you have to take the pint, then fair enough. As long as you're clearing those 3 reds and colours, then maybe add another ball onto that. And just keep doing this. So you're standing back from the shot. I can see I've got a slight angle on this. I'm taking it all in. I'm playing it to get on the black, and I'm doing everything correct here. My stance is right, my bridge is right, feathering properly. 1, 2, 3. There's a pause before I deliver, and I'm putting it right in the middle of the pocket, and I'm perfect on the black. And then again, standing back, I'm seeing I've got a slight angle. Just want to follow through slightly for this, and I'm on the next ball. And just keep doing that. It's the same with the blue. Just put 2 or 3 balls around here and just score 12 or 18, just depending on your ability. Put the number of balls that's relevant to your ability. There's no point in putting too many on. If you can hit a 60 break, 70 break, then don't put 2 balls on, because you'll clear them every time. just keep playing, keep doing the right things. I'll not get the blue out, but I'm just showing you that I would be on the blue again. And just do that until you're regularly clearing these. The professional who coached me as a kid, he had me doing this, and he had me write it down, you know, how much I scored every single time. And because your improvement doesn't go like that. No one's does. It's steady. You might not even see it. So if you're writing down how many times you're scoring 24, how many times you're scoring 18, how many times you're doing it, you'll see your improvement week on week. You know, oh, I got it 2 out of 10 times this time. Try again next week. You want to get to 3 times, you want to get to 4 times. Just keep going. But the important thing is, if this isn't the routine for you, find something similar. The important thing is to enjoy it. There's no point, you know, playing snooker if you're not enjoying it. There's no point in practicing if you're not enjoying it, because you won't improve. And it all depends on your own personality. You know, there's a famous stuff about Steve Davis, you know, putting a white on the brown spot and just playing it up and down the table over and over and over again, and having the white hit his tip. And that got him into a really good routine of cueing straight. Not everyone can do that. You know, Steve Davis he's a very special character, and he was able to do that, and it worked for him. But that certainly wouldn't work for me. I, you know, watched Stephen Hendry in practice every single day, and he never did anything like that. The closest he got to it, and this just shows you that even the pros do stuff like that, is imagine this: he would play a long straight blue off its spot over and over and over again. Now this was a guy who at this time was the best player in the world, and he did it from every single corner. So you play white ball in here, pot the blue in there, and he'd do it over and over and over. He'd move there, he'd do it over and over. He did it so much, if you looked at his table, it looked like it had a cross in it, from the white ball travelling down the same line all the time. Now, I'm not saying do that, just find something that you're happy with, that's going to make you better, and that you, most importantly, enjoy. So, just to recap, I want you to forget any kind of, you know, secret technique or anything like that. There isn't one. It is purely and simply practice. It's about training your brain. This is a complicated game. If you can focus on less things, it'll make it easier to get better. The two main ones for beginners are that, you know, improving your aiming. So definitely take a step back from the shot, take it in, step into the shot so that you're aiming here. Don't take your eye off that focal point of where you want to hit it. And the second thing is, you know, at the same time, make sure your technique is right. And I'll cover that in another video, you know, because that's, technique is quite a difficult process. You know, there's a lot to your technique. There's the stance, there's the bridge, there's your head, there's this arm movement. You know, there is a lot to how you deliver the cue. So I would say that's a lot to focus on, as well as aiming to get you started. And don't beat yourself up about it. You know, it's a difficult game, and if you watch a game on TV today, you'll see even the top pros miss a lot of balls. You know, they do. Nobody pots absolutely everything, and these guys have been playing it for years. They're the best in the world, and they still miss, and they still do these things. You know, they still practice every single day and do the same things that I'm asking you to do in order to train their brain to get better. So don't beat yourself up. Just find something that you enjoy doing and make sure you're doing the right things over and over and over again. And if you have found this useful, I really hope that you have, and I promise that I'll bring out another video very, very soon on technique that I hope will help you as well. If you have found it useful, please give me a like. You know, it means a lot to me if you do like these, and give me a subscribe as well, because the more you do that, the more likely my video is going to reach a bigger audience and hopefully help them as well, because I really want to cut through the noise of, you know, these silly techniques that a lot of, you know, online coaches advocate. I watched a video recently of a WPBSA coach, and he basically debunked ghost balls and all that kind of stuff as well. He actually said that the aiming process is your brain guessing, which I agree to a certain extent. When you're first seeing a ball, you're kind of guessing where you need to hit it, but we want to get to the point where it's like that straight blue, that your brain is no longer guessing, it knows where to hit it, and your technique is sound enough that it will let you hit it where you want to. So don't worry, we'll get there. It'll take a bit of time, and not everyone will be the exact same level. You get some players that are just born to play snooker, and others who, if they can make a 40-50 break, will be over the moon. But if you follow these tips that I'm giving you, you'll definitely get better. So thank you for taking the time to listen to this. I really appreciate it, and I really hope that it has helped you. So bye for now.